EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Novello for EA Sports, calling all the action for today's event. We are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built the golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, 100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
We're in the desert, partner. I need water.
You're going to get it here, Rich. Par 5 second hole's got a nice stream that runs down the left side, as well as cutting the fairway. There's a crop of some 3 bunkers down that right side. I want to avoid that, but, Rich, this hole isn't too long. Under 500 yards, not even going to play that long, so very reachable.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Now at 2 under par for the tournament. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 5th hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot played just a fraction uphill. And this green, well, it's got more humps than hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. And getting ready for the putt. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
It has been a ball striking clinic today, hitting one green after the next.
Really? This is an awkward length.
And that's how you keep a round going, make putts just like that. Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of this green makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss this green, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
What a great shot. Right next to the hole. It's about 5 feet.
Second shot.
Really has a feel on these greens. That is another birdie. This is impressive. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop-off at the front of this green that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Big swing right there and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, how about that eagle at this point in the tournament? Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yeah, maybe you put your two hands together, make a little prayer. You might make two, but make three here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par three, but it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off, because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunk on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
That's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Getting set for another approach, our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Good chance now after that approach shot for a birdie.
You're so precise coming in, and the measurement is 9 feet away.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you, and remind yourself too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. I mean, you look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. You hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s. Safely on deck.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Almost. Wow. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Really good play off the tee, at least 300 yards and in the fairway. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie try again here today. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself though. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Great too.
Beautiful. Now to the par 5, 12, pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
He'll need to be strong with this. Golf shoes might not be good enough here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. You might need your hiking boots here because there are so many elevated tees.
Well, fortunately, we don't have to rappel down the mountains or the hills here, but there are billy goats around here as well, so be careful. If you stray, you might just, join a new tribe.
Frank, you had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard, what that would have meant to him.
He's made it. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th. It measures 560 yards, a sweeping dog leg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It's 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. How does that not go in? You always like that. Count it as a birdie. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we're going to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side, regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Settles in over the putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. He's made it. Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should set up nicely for a birdie.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
He's putting for birdie now. Good putt. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward, and I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Just a sensational shot, and he will have that for an eagle.
Amazing. Just like that, pick up 2 on the field.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but you know, that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really, a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 170 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
To win the Tiburon Championship. Go ahead and do that. Eagle on the call. Just a great putt and a great win.